And there we go. We are live, or at least recording.
Hello.
This is No Game Scientist. Where's my mouse at? This is No Game Scientist. This is January 1st, 2025. New year.
New year, new game.
New year, new game, new you. All that jazz. I'm probably going to struggle playing with a mouse and keyboard because I just don't do this kind of shit. I'm not a real gamer. That's John. I'm playing Noire.
I am a real gamer.
I am a real gamer. I just don't. I played with consoles my whole life. I only got into. I was already well into college when I got into PC gaming more. Okay, so we're gonna do LA Noire. Doing this because I got inspired after playing. Started playing the Quarry, and then I watched part of Until Dawn, and I was like, you know what? Other games this is almost an origin point for that kind of game, right? Like it. That like
this and the Telltale games.
Yeah. Telltale has less choice available, I think, but anyway.
It's more binary.
Yeah.
And definitely more railroaded towards the end, for sure.
This also isn't really a game that has a lot of choice. It's supposed to be fun to like deduce, and we're gonna see how crazy their facial expressions are.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, let's get started because the game saving content and
a city on the verge of greatness. A new type of city, based not on the man, but on the automobile, the car.
This is so
a
loud.
symbol of freedom and vitality.
This is so loud.
It's good for me, but you can definitely turn that down.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Yeah, let me see if I can.
Ooh, no overall slider.
Yeah, I know. This is a 12-year-old game. What are we gonna do?
This is a 12-year-old game. What are we gonna do?
I mean, when we played Wolfenstein, which I will not continue because we lost the save, and I refuse to. Hello?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. We're doing great. Doing great today. Here we go.
Doing great. Doing great today. Here we go.
We're just gonna put it at 50.
We're just gonna put it at 50.
Yeah.
Better?
Where every man can own his
I
own
think
home
so.
and have room to breathe.
I think so.
We'll see what it is when it actually gets started.
We'll see what it is when it actually gets started.
The city where a man's home is his castle. A quarter acre of the dream made possible by victory. The city of opportunists. The city of dreams, where Hollywood will shape the thoughts and desires of the entire
I do appreciate this is here. I need to adjust one more time. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's just
I do
the
appreciate
cutscenes are bad like this.
This
Hopefully
is
the rest of the game's
Here,
a
I need
little
to
bit more
adjust it now. I'm
balanced.
sorry.
Oh, in terms of the next game. Yeah, we can.
I don't know if it's just gonna be cutscenes or bad like this. Hopefully the rest of the game.
Because I'm not sure I'm heard over this right now.
Because I'm not sure I'm heard over this right now.
The city of dreamers.
Oh, they look freaky now.
The city of undercurrents. Where not
It's
everything is to succeed.
it's kind of the uncanny value you get from that one character in the Quarry, honestly, but for everyone.
20th century city will become a model for the world.
Yeah.
It's kind of the uncanny value you get from that one character in the Quarry, honestly, but for
A
everyone.
city that has no boundaries. That will stretch as far as the eye can see. In the Marine Corps, you deal with the chain of command. Mistakes get made, but you deal with them. You know what you're fighting for, that you're on the same team. But dealing with corruption is like chasing shadows. You never know whether the guy you're talking to
Ooh,
is
that
on
looks
the pad,
rough.
or whether it's your partner,
Yep.
or maybe even the watch
Is it
commander.
on the 4K monitor or on the?
So who do you trust?
regular
Cole?
one?
Yeah.
I made up my
Oh, it's on the 4K. That's why.
Ooh, that looks rough.
KGPL calling caller 14 Adam. 14 Adam, come in.
KGP.
Go ahead, KGPL.
Yeah.
14 Adam, see the detective an ambulance shooting at 6th and Industrial Street. Unit 16 William requests uniform assistance for an evidence search. 14 Adam, code 2.
Roger. 14 Adam en route.
Whoa.
Here we go again. They don't request uniforms
Again,
for an evidence
we're gonna give
search
Connor
unless
some
there's
grace
kind of catch.
because he
Ever
typically
the op-
plays with
From the
control.
beam of sunshine himself.
Yeah. Here, you know what?
Whoa.
I need to adjust the sound again. So this is unfortunately this is just what happens with some of these older
Yeah.
games. These games don't even feel that
Here,
old.
you know
but,
what? I need to adjust the sound again.
No, but I definitely do think it's like a.
So
They don't do great at
Um,
scaling the sound and making it.
this is unfortunately this is just what happens with some of these older games.
And also,
These
like,
games don't even feel
Since
that
it's
old. But
we're playing on PC,
um,
it's not considered in terms of like settings, the volume.
Yeah,
they don't do great at scaling the sound and making it.
but I think this will be. Oh,
You want me to keep tabs on the path of destruction you're creating? It might come in handy at your trial.
I do think you get lower scores in this one if you destroy too
Yeah.
much.
It does keep track of like how much damage you cause.
But I think this will be. Oh,
So that'll be fun to keep tally.
You might back up.
Yes, sir. Phelps and Dunn, Wilshire Division.
We had a shooting took place down this alleyway. We have the Vic, Scooter Payton. and
I
Negro
do think you
male
get
backed
lower
up
scores in
over
this one
Central
if you
Court.
destroy too
Witness
much.
says a tall white guy, our shooter, put 2 in the Vic's head and then threw his piece. I
Just
need you guys to try and recover the gat.
You want us to look anywhere in particular?
Give it your best shot, guys. The dead guy's a lowlife. I'm not expecting any miracles here.
And if we recover the weapon?
Bag it and return it to technical services.
You hurry it up, Floyd. We
I'm
got
outta
places
here.
to be.
Happy hunting.
Right. If I recall correctly, those wind up kind of being dirty
This
cops.
is a fist hump. Just go
Okay,
through
the
the
actual
motions.
controls
Probably
aren't
right. Let's
terrible.
just get it over and done.
No, the
Okay.
driving is trash. Like
Shift is sprinting. Okay, this isn't too bad.
right. If I recall correctly, those wind up kind of being dirty cops. Okay, the actual controls aren't terrible.
So the vibe of this game was basically that you
Shift
have
is sprinting. Okay, this isn't too bad.
these crime scenes you investigate, you find clues, inspect them.
yeah, this is the first step of like you could do it wrong.
So the vibe of
Was,
this
I
game
think the big
was
the
basically
selling port.
you
The selling
have
point was
these
that
crime
you
scenes you
technically
investigate.
could be wrong.
How
you
the
find
hell did you see
clues,
that?
Reflection in the window.
inspect them.
Looks like it might be our weapon. I'm gonna see if I can find a way up there.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Where did I look at? There we go. I didn't realize it was telling me to look there specifically. Thanks, dude.
Oh, there we go.
That's kind of
Where did I
nice
look
how
at?
well
There we
that
go. I didn't realize it was
works.
telling me to look there.
I only say that because, like, I think this was close to the first release of... There's no way I can...
Thanks, dude.
Oh, is it reflected up here or something?
That's kind of
Oh, there
nice
we go.
how well that works. I only say that because,
There we
like, I think this was close to the first release of.
Your partner's kind of an ass. It's awesome.
That's kind of the vibe. Is like every
No way.
partner. And full disclosure, I played this
Oh, is it
before,
reflected
so
over here or something?
let's just
189.
have that out in the open.
Oh,
Most of your partners are
There
ass.
we go.
2 rounds fired.
Your
Instead of
partner's
backing
kind of
up
an
and
ass.
Our shooter hoists it up
Awesome.
here.
No other way to describe it, really.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the vibe of like LA.
follow up on this now.
Like that's the vibe that we associate with LAPD. It's like they're just a bunch of corrupt.
Let's take it back to Central. We could get a commendation.
Could show some initiative, Ralph. And see if we can come up with an owner.
Yeah, this is also as they get to later. This is the
You know a local gun store?
Sure.
the studio era.
Blocks from here.
Yeah, and then it's like post-war, immediate, like almost immediate post-World War II.
A lot of these people are former Marines.
No harm in doing some digging.
Yeah, this is also as they get to later. This is the
Oh, that's not my car.
Can't wait to get out of that uniform.
the studio era.
You'd rather round
I don't know why there's a second police car just randomly hanging out there, but
And then Phelps is just the biggest fucking tryhard.
A lot of these people are former Marines.
To be clear, I did enjoy this game.
we're just gonna wind up seeing all
that's
the
not my car.
weird
I don't know
things
why
going on
there's a
with
second
it.
police car just randomly hanging out there,
Gun
but
store. I kind of like the aesthetic. Like I don't think we see enough. Like there we go.
We don't see a lot of explicitly like noir.
we're just gonna wind up seeing all the
games,
weird.
and even in like the detective genre, you usually see it in like a point and click adventure.
Yeah, and I was talking to you about it. I don't love how
kinda
much
like
things have
the- I
revolved
like
to
the
very
aesthetic. Like,
basically
I
the
don't
same
think we
UI.
see enough,
And
there we go.
the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, the UI makes sense, but a lot of them don't feel inspired. They don't feel like they've done anything different to stand out.
Yeah, and I was talking to you about it.
Yeah, and that's
I
why, like,
don't love how much things have
think
revolved to
Persona
basically the same
5
UI, and
Noire gets a lot of props for their UI.
the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, the UI makes sense,
simply
but
because
a lot of them don't feel
kind of put more
inspired.
effort
They don't feel like
into
they've
it.
done anything
Not
different
say, like,
to stand out.
Game developers put effort, but like
Well, it's like the one I'm
Persona-
thinking of is lovely.
Whoa.
Dragon Age, the Veilguard. So
yeah, and that's like a bad UI and Assassin's
Well,
Creed,
it's like the one I'm thinking of is
a couple others I could name, but like
Lovely.
those are very much like action RPG.
Dragon
Like,
Age.
That's what
The
it
Veilguard,
has
so.
turned into kind of that.
10:30 p.m. What kind of gun store is open at 10:30 p.m.?
Dude, it was LA in
Officers Phelps then
True.
times. I don't know.
It's a-
Tell us anything about
It was an
this
exploding city at that time.
Model 27
Mhm.
registered Magnum. Chambered for 357. Nickel plated with pearl grips. Same gun used by General Pat.
You're not suggesting he's the owner.
No, I'm not.
You seem to know a lot about the weapon.
I ought to. I sold it. You know, this piece will stop a rhino. These babies are only available special order. Here's my Smith & Wesson order book.
Mind if I take a look?
My guest.
I also find that to be a funny question. You seem to know a lot about the weapon. Well, I mean,
I also find that to
he's
be
a
a funny
gun store.
question. You
owner.
seem to know a lot about the weapon.
My
Well,
God.
I mean, he's a gun
See it
store
on there?
owner, man.
Pearl grips. Pearl grips.
I don't remember the
Pearl grips.
like the buddies
grips.
being that like mouthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I can use the mouse or WASD.
Oh, interesting. I can use the mouse or
WASD.
WASD.
Good luck. Errol Schroeder.
Errol
203 Southwest
Schroeder.
Street. Ordered the gun in February
Errol
46.
Schroeder. This
Errol
is
Schroeder.
this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like I don't think there's a lot of
This is this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like
a lot of
I don't
games
think there's a lot
have
of
character. Don't get me wrong, but too many have devolved.
a lot of
into that,
games
like, very
have
samey
character. Don't get me wrong.
interface.
Too many have
And
devolved
I think
into that, like very
the
samey
control scheme makes sense to me
interface.
because
And
it
I
allows
think
for a common design
The control
language
scheme
for
makes sense to me because
PC
it
and
allows
console.
for a common design language
and-
for
Oop, that's
I-
not what I want.
PC and
It's-
console.
We'll let you mention it because I'm currently
Nope,
watching
that's
the
not what I
Beard
want.
Rose play through Ape Escape. If I remember correctly, you jump with R2 in that game.
Oh, weird.
Hold on. It's a early.
Oh, weird.
It's a PS1 game where like the DualShock was first introduced.
Oh, okay.
And so
Okay.
like yeah, it's just weird that like early games for
There we go.
jumping. There was no like standardization. Like, but nowadays,
That wasn't so hard, was it?
you know,
Just
if you
because we're
pick
in
up a game,
uniform doesn't mean we
you know
can't use
there's
our
a
initiative.
standard
I guess so.
layout that you can
Seems a little
expect.
too good to be true.
If you're playing,
One-of-a-kind murder
let's say, a
weapon,
character
all
action game,
using a real name. If shooter's our shooter,
square is probably going to be your main attack. Triangle is probably going to be your sidearm, whatever that is. If not a sidearm, then a heavy attack. Circle is usually some kind of dodge, roll, sidestep.
Yeah.
X is going to be your jump. I'm using PlayStation controller as a reference here.
What was it that?
Yeah.
There's a game that was a X was dodge. Oh, I think it was God of War,
What was it that
where the default I think is X is dodge,
There's a
and I
game
had to
that
change
was
it because I was messing it up.
X was?
I think
God-
I was
I
getting
think it
one.
was God of War.
One of them was
Or the 2018 one.
I think 2018 one.
Where the default I think is X is dodge.
One of them
and
I was
change it 'cause
playing,
I
and the
messing
dodge
it
was
up.
getting me mixed up with
I
the
think I was
Elden
getting-
Ring dodges.
One of them was I think 2018 one. One of them I was playing and the dodge was getting me mixed up
Yeah,
with
then
the
the-
Elden Ring
If
dodges.
you
That
go
only took
into
13
freaking,
minutes.
like, sorry.
Shooter's apartment.
Those, when you go
That
into
only took
genres
13
too,
minutes.
like those likes, you know that circle's your dodge, L1's your regular, L2. Sorry, R1's your regular, R2 is your heavy. You know, the vibe.
Yeah.
What do you guys want?
I'm Officer Cole Phelps. This is Officer Dunn, Wilshire Division. You're the owner of a Smith & Wesson Model 27, nickel-plated with pearl
Yeah.
grips?
I might be. What of it?
Then you'll be surprised to know that Scooter Payton was murdered tonight with your gun.
You're out of your mind. Scooter, he works for me. I have that gun here in my drawer. What the fuck is going on here?
You're under arrest, Schroeder. Cuff him, Ralph.
No way. You're not taking me down for this.
Roll triangle to brawl. Okay, space the dodge as he attacks. That's like an early parry system. Almost.
Yeah, a little bit. It feels so goofy.
Fine, I hardly
It's very,
Yeah.
very arcadey.
He's lucky he caught me off guard.
Yeah, a little bit.
But that's not the point of this game.
Keep an eye on him, Ralph. Take a look around.
That's part of the
Feels
thing.
so
Like,
goofy.
unfortunately, you
That's part
kind of.
of the
It's very arcadey.
not downfall necessarily, but
Ooh.
misunderstanding.
But
of
that's
this
not the
game.
point of this game.
You can. It was a marketing problem.
That's part of
too.
the thing. Like,
We've
Yeah,
discussed
unfortunately,
this.
kind of.
Rockstar.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't know I could put my hat back on.
Can, it was a marketing
Never
problem
leave it
too.
up to
We've discussed this like. Oh,
That's not
I
what I meant
didn't
to
put my hat
do.
back on.
Yeah, no, Rockstar. I don't think it was Rockstar's fault necessarily. I don't think they
That's
did a
not
lot
what
to
to
dissuade
do.
the assumptions because it was a lot of.
no, because they want to.
Yeah, no, Rockstar. I don't think
take
it was
advantage
Rockstar's
of
fault
that, like-
necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't think they did a lot to dissuade
Association.
I think that there's
assumptions, 'cause
something
there's a
to
lot of-
that. I think games media did a bad job. Like I think they didn't ask the right questions because it was being discussed by IGN.
I think that there's something to
I think
that.
G4 was
I
still a
think
thing at the
games
time,
media
so one of
did a
those
bad
podcasts was the first.
I
Like
think
I
they
listened to
didn't ask the right
the
questions. 'cause
G4
it was
feedback
being
podcast
discussed
for
by,
like 2 years
IGN.
before they shut down.
I
Right
think
at the end of
G4 was still a
college,
thing at
or
the
right
time.
in
so
high
one of
school,
those-
beginning of
one of those
college.
podcasts was the first.
Right.
Like I listened to the G4
Yeah, these vignettes are always.
feedback podcast for
Yeah.
like 2 years before they shut down.
It explains to you
Right at the
why
end
he
of
became
college,
a
or right at the end of high school, beginning of college.
police officer and his experience in the war. Very vaguely, because I don't think it ever gets. I don't think it ever gets detailed.
Yeah,
No, the
it
the
explains
vignette's
to you
fine,
why he
but, like,
became
I don't
police
like
officer and
the
his
filters
experience
and
in
like
war.
the aesthetic of the vignettes. The vignettes themselves.
very
are fine.
vaguely
They're
because I don't think it
good
ever gets.
storytelling
I don't think
elements.
it ever gets
I just
detailed.
don't like the actual like
You don't.
look of them.
You don't like the literal vignette
Excuse me, Sergeant.
Yeah.
theme that they add to the vignettes.
Yes.
Some of us are here for.
You don't. You don't like the literal vignette theme that they add to the vignettes.
Can you believe this guy? Who are you two? Abbott and Costello?
We're here for OCS, Sergeant.
So it's the three
What?
fucking stooges and you're here for OCS. God help this fucking country and the USMC. The Japanese will do the world a favor and kill you quickly. All three of you are on report. What are your fucking names?
Phelps. Kelso.
Merrill. Any other gentlemen for OCS? OCS is at Elliott. You take the Camp Elliott bus over there. This
Is there
bus is for MCRD.
subtitles option?
This bus is for
What do you mean saving content? There's no content.
Fight.
Whatever.
It's just saving my settings. It does that every time. Armed and dangerous.
Well, you picked the right place, Cole.
I can't
See,
do the
they get an
transatlantic
honest
accent.
cop like a thirsty man needed
So
water.
there's not
I-
any of that.
It hurt
It's just saving.
I
the
can
settings.
try,
It
but
does that every
it won't
time.
be. I can't sustain it, and I don't want to sustain it.
No, it feels like it would hurt.
Well, people who spoke
Armed
that
and
way for
dangerous.
media were trained that way from a pretty young age.
Greyhound ticket to Pflugerville.
Like they got into acting either right out of
I can try, but it
high
won't
school or
be-
even
I
when
can't
they were
sustain it,
teenager
I
and,
don't
like-
want to sustain it. Well, people who
Do I get
spoke that
Phantom
way
over
for
to Connor?
We'll take that.
media
It's
were
only a
trained
couple
that way
blocks
from a
from
pretty
14
young
Avenue.
age.
Is it on sale right now?
We'll handle the 211.
Barely.
Like they
I
got
feel like
acting
it barely goes
either
into
right out of
stuff like that.
Eight.
high school or even
What's it right now?
when they were a teenager and like
I want to say like 23.
Oh, okay. Now I was getting mixed up. I was thinking it was more than that. I think it's $30 full retail.
I believe so, yeah.
is it on sale right
Yeah, the display.
now? It what's it right now?
Take it quick, you guys. The cops are here. We gotta move it.
Oh, right. This is the gunplay.
Oh, okay,
This
now I was
is the
getting mixed
gunplay
up. I was
tutorial.
thinking it was more than that. I think what it's $30 full retail.
The kind of rough gunplay tutorial.
I
Kind of.
yeah the display. Oh right, this is the gunplay. This is the gunplay tutorial. The kind of rough gunplay tutorial.
Try for the front door. Keep your goddamn head down. Use the cover, Phelps. We don't know how many are in there. Take it slow. Backup will be here soon.
Oh, and I think I remember not liking the
LAPD,
like.
put down your weapons. The bank is surrounded.
auto-aim.
I'm offering you
Not
a chance.
chance, copper. You get closer.
Stay down.
Yeah, Cyberpunk is in the
Stay in cover.
Because I was saying,
Alright.
like, the
That's it.
auto aim is like
We got 'em
really
all?
aggressive. Like you
I think
barely
we
have
got him,
to
Cole.
do
Should
any
be
of
all
the
clear.
I wouldn't like it if this were a full
Lieutenant Hopkins says anytime
third-person
the
shooter,
resources
but
are
it's
gone,
fine for this kind of game because these are just
Yeah.
little contained segments in the game.
Okay, Rob. Did well.
like yeah, and this is not the point of the game. And that's one thing I do think
Man couldn't ask for a better.
All right.
was one of the big missteps of the marketing was like, oh, it's from Rockstar,
I wouldn't
Produced
like
by-
it if this were a full
Yeah.
makers of GTA, produced by,
third-person shooter. But
Exactly,
it's fine
but
for
it's
this
developed
game,
by
these are
Team
just
Bondi
little
and-
contained segments
which
in the game.
was like an Australian, like this is their first game, an Australian studio.
I have to grasp it.
They closed after
You have to
this,
survive the
actually,
first
if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Veterans, the Japs love to shoot.
Like all the
Unfortunate, but
yeah, all these games that like
Yeah,
did well, but like not as well as they want.
exactly. But it's developed by
Almost
Team
like
Bondi
the beginning of that era, right? And we're still kind of in that era.
Opinion, Kelso, I'll ask for it.
We'll talk about officers like you at boot camp, Cole. I call it the Custer syndrome. Guys who go around dreaming of fame and glory and getting all of their men killed in the process.
Our duty is to lead, Kelso.
And their duty is to die for your wonderful future?
some people, it's as simple as chemistry. Two guys who should have been friends.
I like these. I would like to see another game like this.
Wow, way too tight.
We might just have to look into like the 2D like point-and-click adventure realm.
Yeah.
Like there is one I want to try
You don't like to talk about it, Cole.
on the channel. There's several
Friends
actually,
who want to
but
stay friends don't discuss religion or politics.
I do know
In
it's
my case, you can
wow.
add the war to that.
I do know it's
I know that.
not the
Paul.
most
Wendell Bauer. I put him away
pop-in
before he
genre,
jumped
but I
on-
would like to try
Get after him, Phelps. I'll head him off in the car.
slower games. I know I generally do like the action games.
Yeah.
But I guess we can say that I'll be also starting Final Fantasy 13, revisiting that game for the first time since I played it
That will
in
be
college.
interesting. That'll be interesting.
In college.
I just like the vibe. I think for a long time when I
15 years
didn't
ago.
when I didn't know that they were gonna. I like how like close I can get to this guy.
But then he like speeds up.
Yeah.
Give it up, Wendell. Stay the hell away from me.
Apple.
You gotta be kidding.
You fucking asked for it.
Final Fantasy 13.
Yes. So no, before I knew this game wasn't gonna get a sequel. Where the fuck did he go? There he is. I always wanted there to be like a New York version of this game, and I still think that would be a good idea.
It's over, Bowers. You assholes already screwed me once.
Oh wait, there was that one game that I wanted to try.
Give it up, Bowers. There's nowhere left to go.
Did nobody wants to die? Is that
We've
that one?
got the place.
Is that the game we tried that was struggling when it launched?
Yeah, but now that it's post, I think it'll be fine.
Pretty boy.
Oh god, I'm not holding up the.
Picking up Phantom Liberty, we're doing it. Which, thanks to Steam Family Connor, you can also play it.
That's true.
And no pressure, I would appreciate like
You
$10
doing,
with
Wendell?
it. Absies?
I'll figure that out later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've been waiting to play through it on PC until I get that.
Watch your head.
Yeah.
This
I
is
bought
gonna
it
be
on-
back in the
Another
Iron Hotel
playthrough
by
as a
tomorrow
male
night.
V, doing the corporal
Nice
run.
work, Cole.
Yeah.
You run track in high school?
And just to see how much it's changed with like all the updates they've been doing.
Part of the tradition of the Marine Corps and being an officer in the Marine Corps is the ability to make.
I think I agree. I don't like the way these are shot. They wobble too much. This kind of makes me ill. Like not enough that I'm actually gonna get sick, but like
I don't know what, like, I think it's the lens they're trying to use.
Directly affect your chances of successfully becoming a Marine officer. Candidate Phelps, you have the floor.
it's just doing this like wobbly thing too.
8, Donahoe, 6,
Yeah.
Kowalski, 6, Hudson, 5, Kelso, 2, Leadership, Donahoe, 8, Franklin, 7, Merrill, 6, Kowalski,
I love like
6,
the pissing contest that they
Weiss,
develop
5,
with each other
Hudson, 5,
instantly.
Kelso, 1. Candidate Kelso.
I'm sorry, Captain, but I joined the Marine Corps to fight the enemy, not get involved in this schoolboy chicken shit.
Kelso, in my office, now.
Hey, he just didn't learn that you just gotta be good at these dumb tasks, and then you can be a dead-eyed psycho like the rest of
Gives you
them.
that leg up. Gets you recognized as the shining new star in the squad. The case that you solved that shows
You get to become the most powerful general in the military and suggest nuking an entire peninsula off the Earth. So
this could be the one.
Simply because communism.
yeah, I mean, in fairness, when he suggested that got him shoved out of the military. But
Could you stand clear of the
He's a
body,
fucking
please?
psycho.
Has anyone called an ambulance?
We've called an ambulance and the police, but I'm afraid he's dead.
Okay, stand further back and move along. It's your choice, but make it quick, people.
Hey, Cole. You got here quick.
My beat crosses 7th Street.
Okay. You're first reporting then. We'll get a perimeter going and move the crowd on. Better see what you can find out before the homicide dicks show up. I'll be with you in a moment.
All right.
Everybody stay back. Let us do our job.
I think there's a couple of these segments that I may wind up having to edit a little bit in the clips. We'll see, because I think there's some like Black Dahlia murder stuff later on in the. Might get a little something I can't really show.
There's some stuff you might have to blur out, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
We'll just put a picture of one of our cats over it. It's fine.
Why? What is not working here? Oh, I need to use the WASD things. This is awkward. The controls aren't working the way I want right now. I'm going to use WASD because the other controls aren't working the way I want. I guess that's not showing me anything. Okay. Cool. Bank of Arcadia. You know, I know that modern stuff is like technically better, but part of me always like gets interested in stuff like this because like we always question like how do they get things done? I'm like, well, they made ledgers like this. Like most of the principles we use in computing are from what we did before.
They're just digitized versions of these ledgers.
I think that's all I have to check. I don't think I have anything else I can find here. If I recall correctly,
an audio, like a piano cue, when you found everything, or when there's like clues nearby.
FN Browning, serial number 01138. I need to run by gun store.
the Browning. I think Browning is still a fairly large company, but
Can I help you, sir?
I'm Officer Phelps, miss. I'm here about the shooting.
oh, we get the first mocap face.
He was my boss. Mr. Gage.
Mr. Gage's first name.
Everett.
You are.
I also think this person is supposed to be pretty young.
Clovis. Baggett.
So how do I there we go.
You think you could tell me exactly what happened, miss?
I look around the shops at lunch. I was in a store when Mr. Gage, my boss, bursts in yelling that I'm late on my lunch.
And?
We came back. I was angry. I walked in front. I heard shots. I turned and saw Mr. Gage fall.
Is there a log? Oh, they're just gonna tell us to keep it. Okay.
I don't know who shot.
I said I probably just pressed 2. I accidentally hit 1.
A man is dead, Miss Galetta, and it's a criminal offense
Well,
to lie to a
there you go.
police.
I meant to press 2.
Get out right now. Send in one of the other policemen if you must, but I won't say another word to you.
I think there's something else I can find to push the issue with her, but I can't remember.
I don't remember because I picked the right thing.
I'd be more careful with that because that was easy. That's easy to accidentally hit the wrong button on my button bar.
We have the murder weapon? Murder. The girl saw it all, but she clammed up on it. We can trace the gun.
Eagleson's gun store's a couple blocks from here.
Thinking what I'm thinking?
Tate, maintain the perimeter.
I like how the car just like tries to get out of the way well before I'm even a problem. I like the notebook thing where like you go through the notebook.
What did I tell you about?
I kind of want like a better version of that.
She's a store assistant, not a prisoner of war.
Is that supposed to be funny?
I'm just saying that sometimes you need to pour some sugar on these broads. A little bedside manner can go a long way.
And since when are you the expert? We got the murder weapon, didn't we?
Keep going on this road.
You shouldn't dole it out if you can't
Or
take
some
it, Phelps.
sugar.
She was a looker, though. Tell me I'm wrong.
No wonder you're suddenly so obsessed with bedside manner.
Lovely.
You're gonna wreck the car.
God damn it. We're not worried about the guy we ran over. Lovely.
Jesus.
There we go. Trying to get it to trigger the gun store.
Officer, what can I do you for?
I want a Godfather
Officer
2
Phelps and Dunn,
remake.
Social Division. We need you to trace a serial number.
Although I've heard that Mafia 3 is
What's
pretty
the make and
pretty
model?
good. I avoided it because I thought it was all linear.
The serial number is 01138.
You don't say. Well, I didn't sell it. Europeans love them, but it's pretty rare you find one over here. Although I did have one in here a couple of weeks back.
Remember the owner?
Yeah. Kalu. Edgar Kalu was his name. Thing looked like he'd never been fired, but he brought it in here for cleaning anyway. Then he bought a box of cartridges and he left.
You know where we can find Mr. Kalu?
Told me he was on his lunch break. Said he worked at Hartfield's jewelry store just up on Broadway.
Thanks for your help.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Careful.
See, if you just kept moving. You know, I do like this music though, I will say. I don't know why I'm struggling so much with this.
That was a tax-paying citizen you just bounced off the fucking hood, Phelps. Straight. Keep it straight. What's so goddamn hard about that?
Oh, jeez. At least your assistant is not as useless as Talia in Goldeneye. Do you remember how difficult that was?
Officer, can I interest you in a new watch?
Officer Cole Phelps. Are you
Let's
Edgar
see.
Kalu?
No. Mr. Kalu is out back. He said he'd lie down. I'll buzz him for you.
Son of a bitch. Go, Cole, go.
Let's go.
Kalu, get back here.
Oh. I thought it said to do that. Okay. Well, there you go.
Officer Cole Phelps, are you Edgar Kalu?
No. Mr. Kalu is out back. Said he'd lie down. I'll buzz him for him.
Son of a bitch! Kalu, get back here!
Too late, Kalu. Don't make it worse, Kalu.
Edgar Kalu, you're under arrest for the murder of Everett Gage.
The case that makes you, and the case that breaks you. The one you never solve. The one that keeps you awake at night. The case that gnaws at your guts and ruins your marriage. The case that keeps you propping up a bar as you relive the what-ifs, the might-have-beens, the half-meanings, the half-truths. The case that other cops murmur about whenever you walk past. The case you never, ever discuss.
God's mill may grind slowly, but it grinds finely, son. I hear it's you who knocked down Malefactor from the shooting yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Then tell me, Boyle, I hear you're quite the climber, a man of initiative. How would you like a chance at smiting this man with the sword of justice?
You're asking me to conduct the interview, sir?
I am, young Phelps. You've only been with us a short time and you've assembled yourself a stellar arrest record. Not to mention the fine work you did in the war, sending heathens back to the hell they came from. But I'm curious as to whether you can turn your hand to interrogation. It takes a certain animal cunning, lad. Do you think you might be ready for that?
Yes, sir. I think I am.
Good man. You need many things for a conviction, young Phelps. A motive, opportunity, hard evidence, and best of all, a confession. If you fail in the
What the fuck? I've been
former,
muted this entire
then
time?
always
Goddamn.
use a modicum of
Oh, sorry. I should have said something. I saw you were muted. I thought you had to step away for something.
No,
Very good. The
so,
evidence is over,
fuck.
They can't eat them and they can't be eaten
This is where
by
you
the
see
devil.
like the limitations of the tech,
Bring
is
me a
everyone
confession,
has
young
like the
Phelps.
same kind of haircut.
This
You know,
is your
that slicked
chance.
back.
Yeah, it's very clearly just a texture. It's which like it all is, but like it's not. Now we can actually animate them much more finely, so you have more textures there.
Yeah. But
As my lawyer
what I was
reminds
going
you,
for is
I
like
wanna see
you
my
can kind
lawyer.
of just see that they took,
Lawyer
they
can't help
recorded the
you, Mr.
face
Kalu. You shot a man
very
dead
much
in
like
cold
modern
blood.
tech.
You're going to have to pay for
Well,
that.
not really, because they use like 32 cameras and they just had the person sitting there. But it's kind of like they just took the face that they recorded and just like
Let's talk
stuck it
about the
on
shooting.
a head.
Do you deny shooting?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel
I'm a businessman.
cohesive
I
with
run
the
a
body.
jewelry store. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure my lawyer can clear all this up.
You blew a man out of his socks over an empty grudge. You
I don't. This is one thing I don't like. The doubt versus incorrect
That's the way.
Mm-hmm.
Keep me
is a little bit unclear to me.
and
It's
my
like
lawyer will be making an official complaint. I've just got to keep my mouth shut and watch you run around in circles. We're done.
because like doubt versus lie. It's like sometimes both of those feel like they're right, but they're not. So I'm probably gonna suck at these a little bit.
Get Get back in there and raise some lunch, boy. I need a confession.
So you just redo it.
And he's just screaming at you.
Has my lawyer arrived yet? I want to see my lawyer.
A lawyer can't help you, Mr. Kalu.
This is also, in case anyone does watch this and is young enough, this is before Miranda was a thing. So they are not,
Talk about the shooting.
there's not a legal precedent to always provide a lawyer. Like, they do, but like they mess with it a bit. Miranda is what supposedly made that part of the Bill of Rights like actually achievable for people.
You deny owning a Browning pistol, serial number 011.
See, that's the
I
part.
owned a gun, yes, but it was stolen in a burglary a couple years ago. You can't prove I used my gun on Gage. Gage was an asshole, but his death wasn't done to me. I've just got to keep my mouth.
So I only get one chance.
Run around in circles.
I got to repeat it again. This is
You
annoying.
want to keep making a schmuck of yourself.
I get to hear the Irishman yell again.
You disappoint me, Cole Phelps. Get back in there and raise some lunch, boy. I need a confession.
So much energy. Okay. Before I make a choice, I'm gonna think about it a little bit more now because I can't skip these segments, unfortunately.
Has my lawyer arrived yet? I want to see my lawyer.
A lawyer can't help you, Mr. Kalu. You shot a man dead in cold blood. You're going to have to pay for that. Let's talk about the shooting. Do you deny shooting Everett Gage?
I'm a businessman. I run a jewelry store. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure my lawyer can clear all this up.
Wait, so you already did what choices?
I did lie, so...
You got a doubt then, right?
No, I already did lie. No, lie is correct.
Deny owning a Browning pistol. Serial number 0.
Unfortunately, these repeat themselves. These don't change. That is also a limitation of this game.
It was stolen in a burglary a couple
Or it
years
doesn't
ago.
have, like...
You can't prove I used my gun on Gage.
There's not a dynamic that is more...
Mm-hmm.
There's one right answer, I guess is the way to put it. There we go. That's the one.
Cleaned and bought a new box of ammunition. The store owner remembers you and where you worked.
That's right. If I'd remembered that, I would have been more...
It's amazing what the Nebishes will recall when it suits them.
Let's change the subject. You fasting for Yom Kippur, Mr. Cullen?
Yeah, let's change the subject, you going motherfucker. How about baseball?
You're not denying you're a Jew, Mr. Cullen.
This is America. It's not Germany. It's not a crime.
Some people don't like Jews, Mr. Cullen.
Yeah, and I guess you're one of them.
Gage hated Jews, didn't he, Mr. Cullen?
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is where this game kind of does struggle, because, like, this is one of those where I'm like, doubt or lie both feel like they could work here by having it only be truth, doubt, or lie. You're kind of limited to how you approach
I just
this.
wish you could... There's a log. Can you click the question again? What did he say?
Let's change the subject. You fasting for Yom Kippur, Mr. Cullen?
Yeah, let's change the subject, you going motherfucker. How about baseball?
You're not denying you're a Jew, Mr. Cullen.
This is America. It's not Germany. It's not a crime.
Some people don't like Jews, Mr. Cullen.
Yeah, and I guess you're one of them.
Gage hated Jews, didn't he, Mr. Cullen?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I'm gonna doubt. I don't want to use intuition yet.
You got doubt.
Yeah.
You left-wing leaning parasite. You expect me to sit here and listen
Oh
to
my
your
god.
Jesus Christ.
You sit there and you call me those names, you goddamn goy butt snatcher. You and that stup Gage.
Why did you do it, Mr. Kalu?
Gage. He's in the Chamber of Commerce. He's in with all those momsers. He blocked every proposal I ever put forward. He's been trying to ruin my business for years.
Edgar Kalu.
I'll have to figure out if I need to cut that.
Murder of Edward Gage. I respect your beliefs and your right to hold them.
I think
I hope for your sake.
that might be auto-detected.
Murder in the second degree. May God have mercy on you, sir.
Masterfully done, Officer Phelps. It is just Officer Phelps, isn't it, lad?
Yes, sir.
Then let me have a word with the Chief of Police, young Phelps. The department needs heroes. A shining, honest face the public can admire. I applaud a man with your talent for unwavering justice. Back to your duties for now, boy. But here's a piece of advice. Get yourself 2 suits, get them pressed. You'll be needing them.
And there's the